Hello and welcome to another MusicWorks alumni interview. My name is Amy Dunlap. I'm intern number 121, and today I'm here with Sam Brodsgaard, who was an intern in 2008. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Amy.
I want to start with asking you to tell me about your current job.
I am the owner-operator of Metroplex Music Therapy in Fort Worth, Texas, and I've been in private practice since 2009.
Great. And would you say that MusicWorks helped you get where you are today?
Absolutely, no question about it. I would say the fact that Barbara allowed me to work with her in developing a contract with a local hospice. I think it actually ended up not working out, but just to be able to sit in those negotiations and to kind of run the correspondence and be the point person for that really gave me a taste of what it would be like having my own private practice. And just being able to pick her brain and meet with Barbara and kind of ask her every question I could think of before I left. I definitely recommend doing that. And then later, whatever challenges and struggles that have come up during my first few years, just to be able to call Barbara, just to kind of bounce some ideas off of her and have her as a resource and a mentor has been invaluable.
Wow, thank you. I would like to ask you, what drew you to the MusicWorks internship?
Well, it was the first one I applied to. I got in. But I would say the reputation initially, and the fact that I would get experience with a lot of different populations was really a bonus. At that point, I hadn't really even thought about private practice, so I wasn't even thinking along those lines, but initially that was what drew me to it.
Yeah, lots of different variety, but then also once you got here, that's maybe what helped you to stay and enjoy it, is the private practice experience.
Oh yeah, I quickly saw what a good fit that would be for me.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Can you think of any of your favorite MusicWorks moments?
There were many. A lot of good moments, a lot of challenges, a lot of good moments. The first thing that comes to mind is all the great co-interns that I had. At that time, Barbara was taking 6 at a time.
Wow.
So I got to intern with 8 other people.
Wow.
And it was a great experience, very interesting, a lot of different dynamics. But just to have one moment that I can choose, right after I and my other 2 junior interns at that time had just gotten to the internship. It was July 4th. I remember it very clearly. We were meeting and having a group meditation. We were like making our own big group mandala, and we could hear the fireworks sort of going off in the background, and it was a great moment.
Wow, that sounds really special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did something similar with my juniors when they came in July, so it's neat to think about the different holidays that different interns have gotten to experience together and to hear how they've celebrated them in different ways.
Definitely.
Wow. I would ask you, are there any aspects of what you learned at MusicWorks that best prepared you for your career? We kind of touched on that earlier, but...
Yeah, definitely the private practice aspect, but also being able to, work with children, work in the medical population, work in hospice, which is what I chose to specialize in when I was at MusicWorks. That was another reason why I wanted to come there, is because I could choose. Not only would I have a experience in a wide variety of populations, I could actually choose the one that I wanted to work in the most, which at that time was hospice, and still I work in hospice. But I think, just being able to get that experience in all those different populations has really, really helped me succeed, because when I first got home and started my practice, the jobs that I was getting were with with kids. So I had that experience, and I could do that work until I really was able to get other contracts with my target populations.
And can I ask you, what are your populations now that you work with in your practice?
Hospice, older adults, specifically dementia and Alzheimer's, and substance abuse.
Okay.
So three of the populations you got experience in right there at MusicWorks.
Right. And you mentioned earlier when I asked you about your favorite moments, you also noted challenges, which was a little bit of foreshadowing for this question. And that was, what was one of your biggest challenges during an internship?
I would say the biggest challenge, the biggest ongoing challenge, was the fact that my wife was pregnant with our first child during the internship. She was back here in Texas. Obviously, I was in San Diego.
Wow.
And I barely made it home in time. Maya was born 3 weeks after I got back.
Wow.
And so that was a huge challenge for me and for her.
Wow, what a unique challenge. That's not... I've been doing a few of these interviews and I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
Wow. What a story. And what about one of your biggest aha moments for your professional or personal growth?
Definitely the fact that just watching the way Barbara runs her business and just hearing about other people in private practice. At that time, there weren't a lot of music therapists, to my knowledge, that were in private practice here in Dallas-Fort Worth. There's more now. But I just really hadn't processed that, and I didn't know what it really looked like, and just having the realization that that is actually what I want to do, and it's been a great fit for me to be in private practice. So I saw pretty quickly that that was going to work out for me, and just to have that realization and to be able to get that experience there was a great thing. To
be able to pinpoint, okay, I see that this is what I want to do, and then to build on that.
I just thought maybe I'd get a job, as a music therapist somewhere, and I realized that contract work is definitely the right fit for me.
That's great. That's really great. And our last question is, what would be one piece of advice to future MusicWorks interns?
I think the main thing, because there are so many, and I know that she takes 4 now, she's gone back to having 4 instead of the 6 that she did for a while. But still, there's that dynamic of having a lot of interns at once, 4 at once. And I've seen this work 2 different ways. Fortunately, I was with 2 incredible interns, and the ones that were my juniors and seniors were great as well. But we definitely worked very well together. We became friends. I learned so much from all of them, especially the 2 that I was with the entire time. But I guess the biggest piece of advice I would have is, don't make it a competition.
Could you say that one more time? The videos kind of...
Make it a partnership. I would say the main piece of advice that I have is, don't make it a competition with your co-interns. Make it a partnership. Because I've seen it happen both ways. And with very negative and challenging results when people make a competition. And, it just doesn't work out very well. If you make it a partnership and you try to learn as much as you can from your co-interns, bring your strengths, but also utilize and recognize that other interns that you're with have their strengths as well. Number 1, you'll have a great time. You'll make friends. It'll go by so much faster. You'll be so much more relaxed. And number 2, you'll learn so much more. Some of the best things that I learned were from my co-interns. So that's my advice. Just don't take yourself too seriously. Try to enjoy yourself. San Diego's beautiful, but mainly make it a team, not a competition.
That's really great advice, Sam. That is. Thank you. Well, thank you for your time today, and I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you a little bit.
Well, my pleasure. I appreciate you wanting to interview me. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Sam.
You too, Amy.